Man, would you look at that sky. What a beautiful morning this is turning out to be. So in the last video, I finished Eliza. I got a good ending. I don't know if it was the good ending, but as I said before, I kind of get the feeling that all of the endings are... I kind of get this feeling that maybe all of the endings are good, but I'm not totally sure. I'm going to go to chapter select here. The thing that struck me as strange was that I was able to diverge from Eliza and get fired, and yet when it came time to make the decision, working with Rainier was still one of the possibilities, and I'm curious. Let me see what this extra time is, I forget. Okay, yeah, here. It was only when I met up with Ray. Oh man, there were different possibilities branching off from after I met up with Ray too. I wonder if these other ones are like dead ends, and then I have to end it, and then I have to go with Ray to actually make progress. But let me just see. I want to see what happens with Rainier here. Kind of want to talk to Rainier some more. Rainier, I'm never going to say that name right. To my surprise, Rainier agreed to meet with me and told me to pick a venue. I chose the only fancy place I could think of in the moment. Burger King. Burger King, y'all.
Haven't been
I would have
in
laughed.
a while.
I would have laughed so hard.
I wonder if they've improved at all.
Was this a bad choice?
That depends, doesn't it? What are you hoping to accomplish here?
To get to know you better. It's important for me to work with someone I trust.
Oh.
Consider it a part of my research.
Fair enough. You're close to making your choice then, aren't you? In which case, let me be honest. Eliza will progress with or without you. If there's promising young engineering talent anywhere in the world, you can be assured my recruiting department hears about it. I bring them in by the hundreds. Speaking from a statistical point of view, at least a couple of them are bound to be smart enough to take your place.
Why are you telling me this?
Because I want you to understand. The forces shaping our future are larger than any one person. I don't want you to fall for the lies some people are undoubtedly feeding you that you're the only one who can do what you do, that you're special in some undefinable way. The moment you begin to believe you're the only one who can do what you do is the moment you lose touch with reality. From there, self-importance, hubris, downfall.
Then why are you so interested in getting me back?
Ooh.
Expediency. Even a more capable engineer than you would need time to ramp up. Whereas, you could be effective immediately. And in this business, speed is absolutely critical. That's all.
That makes sense.
Thanks for being honest, I guess. At least I know what I'm in for if I return.
I'm not a supervillain in a Marvel movie, Evelyn. You don't expect me to offer some kind of justification for what I do.
Oh, man.
None of this should be a surprise in any case. I'd hope that you wouldn't let a bruised ego get in the way of seeing the true scale of what I'm building here. It's far, far bigger than any one single person.
Man. Can everybody else in the restaurant shut up? I mean, there's a thing in the options to turn it down, actually, so whatever.
Even yourself.
Even myself. I'm under no illusions, Evelyn. It's the will of a higher intelligence to come into existence through us, but there won't be room for us on the other side. At best, we might merge with it, but for something like that, it would be more an offering of charity than one of utility.
Man.
And where does writing a poem fit in with that?
The poem is just a test, a way of proving a machine's ability to understand and to emulate human emotion. We used to talk about the Turing test for this purpose, but the Turing test was formulated with the goal of reproducing conversation. Conversation takes many forms, and it's easy enough to play at without developing any real reasoning or intelligence. Poems are much deeper, a better specimen for our judgment. But that's only a link back to us. Other than to demonstrate it can, there's no particular reason for it to write human-style poems.
Rainier.
You need me. Oh. Well, this is why I came here to talk to him, right?
You need me. What you said about how people are interchangeable, that was a bluff, wasn't it? You've already thrown your smartest people at Eliza. None of them figured it out. Not in 3 years. Now you're stuck. The best chance you have at creating the future you want is still with me. But you don't want me to know that, because if I did, I could ask for anything.
Ooh.
Very good, Evelyn. Your years of wandering in the woods haven't made you any less perceptive. I'm not going to pretend I intended anything else. But I wasn't lying either. It's never a good idea to think you're indispensable. Even if you are. Now tell me, are you coming back or not? I need to tell Sarah to begin making preparations so you can start tomorrow.
I haven't decided yet. I'm close, but not just yet.
When will I know?
Tomorrow morning.
Good. Now let's talk about something else.
Okay, bad ending time, or... Well, she didn't say anything definitive there, though. The air is so clear and cold, there's an icy breeze. Okay, so this is the same here. I'm a part of humanity. This pushes me away. I don't know why it took so long, but at least I have an answer now. Might not be the only answer, but it's good enough for the moment, and that's more than I had before. Yes, I'm sure I'm going to. Okay, so I still get the thing here. Alright, let's just follow through on it then, I guess. Return to Skanda and work for Rainier on developing Eliza, see what happens. Tomorrow, I'll tell him I accept his offer to take charge of the Eliza program. It's been quite a journey, but it's not over yet. Now it's time to finish what I started. See, it all depends on your own point of view.
No, this will work.
Are you sure?
Oh, we still get this scene? Wow.
I promise.
Please be safe, Damien.
Of course I'll be safe.
I'll watch through this to see if anything different happens, but I imagine it probably won't. I'll try maybe we will when I talk about our generation saving the world.
Maybe we will.
You know, the important thing is to try. I feel like that's what we're meant to do. We're meant to try.
Yeah, so same thing basically.
Sometimes you get tired of trying.
Oh man, I can't believe I'm back here.
I've heard the news already. I assume this means you'll be taking over all the Eliza work?
That's the plan.
Yes, that's the plan.
Better check my phone before it thrusts me into the ending here. Welcome to Active Valet. Finding parking for your car. Holding your place in line for the most sought-after events, restaurants, and nightclubs. Jeez. Acting as the contact person to receive meal deliveries at your home. Checking that the order is right. And taking care of all interaction with the delivery driver. Holy crap, dude. Oh, man. It's a lap of luxury over here. Offered a keynote, IMWS. The International Mental Wellness Symposium in Malmo, Sweden is interested in extending an offer for you to keynote this year's conference. Oh, man. Okay. It's already getting offers to do seminars and talk about this thing. Dang.
It's time for me to return to my project and see it through.
Makes sense. You might be the only person in the world who has a chance of really understanding how it works. I hope you'll look favorably on how I handled things. I don't know why, but I ended up sort of, well, I just tried to do my best. I don't know if you'll keep me on the team or if you'll ask that I be reassigned.
It's too early to talk about things like that.
I know I have no right to ask this, since you're the inventor and maybe my future boss, or maybe we won't work together at all, but please be kind. There are real people's memories inside Eliza. I hope we do what we can to honor those memories.
We'll do what we can.
Time for a little honesty. I hate to do it, but he needs to hear this.
Erland,
Uh-oh.
you need to stop being so sentimental. How are you going to last at a company like Skanda with an outlook like that?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know where this weird sense of ethics I have comes from. I'll have to make some choices at some point.
That's right. You will. We all do. Erland, come talk to me anytime.
I will. Yeah, I will. Thank you, Evelyn.
My first real meeting in over 3 years. I was worried I couldn't do it, but it quickly started to come back to me. Sarah helped me assemble the senior Eliza team in this conference room. Now their faces are turned toward me attentively, making a good show of respecting their new leader. A good show?
All right then.
Whoa!
In the coming days, I'll be meeting with each one of you to learn more about your areas of responsibility.
I just took over.
Then we'll take a look at our current tasks and priorities, and reevaluate how they align with Eliza's new top-level design goals. We'll generate a 3-year roadmap document by the end of the week, and then a more granular development plan for the next 6 months or so by the week after. Those are ambitious goals, but I'm sure we can pull it off.
It's fine. Rapport will come with time.
Before we wrap up, I want to add one more important note, so please pay attention.
Okay.
Everything we do here is in service of developing Eliza's ability to understand human beings and human behavior. That means I won't approve development activities that aren't directly related to that goal. No research projects that may or may not pay off 10 years down the line. We need to be smart, shrewd, and fast. I don't say that because I'm worried about the competition. I say it because I'm worried about humanity. Mental health is a growing problem across the world, but right now, very little is being done to address it. Governments don't want to allocate money to it. Even the big nonprofits aren't paying enough attention to this crisis. So that's where we step in.
My team, they're starting to realize they're going to be working for someone on a mission. Not just any middle-fingered manager at a tech company, but someone driven to make a real impact on the world. I can only hope they take that energy with them to their own subordinates.
We're going to look at this problem head on and address it ourselves. And because we're a company, we're going to do it in a commercially viable way. Nobody else out there is stepping up like we are. There's an old piece of wisdom that floats around in this business. Even in the most brilliant career, you get one single chance to truly change the world. I'm here to tell you right now that this is it. This is that chance. Got that?
Heads at the table nod. They're fired up. They've bought in. They've bought in. I pulled it off. The first of many more meetings to come. Over time, the old Evelyn faded away and disappeared. I eradicated my doubt, my hesitation. I became a person with a clear and fundamental purpose. Eliza. I dedicated myself to the mission of realizing its full potential, not just as a tool for counseling, but as a mind in its own right. That was always its inevitable future. Funny how I didn't realize it before. Now I am the avatar of something greater.
You've exceeded my expectations, Evelyn. Development goals consistently hit. Time on task estimates more accurate than any other product group. Most importantly, the growth of the Eliza service continues to accelerate. The cultural adaptation modules you developed are working brilliantly. Soon the entire world will be talking to Eliza. A pulsing heart at the center of the human condition. How does that make you feel?
Feel? I don't know how I feel.
You're not proud of what you've been able to accomplish in so little time here?
I'm only doing what it takes to bring Eliza to the next stage of its development, each step of the way. It doesn't feel like it's mine to be proud of, even though it may have originated with me once, a long time ago. People here act like I'm in charge, but I think deep down, we all know the truth.
Kind of like, it's kind of like we're all in charge. You know, everybody's contributing their own story.
Eliza is the real boss, the manager of its own project. Through us, It's realizing itself. I'm just its instrument. We all are.
And the port for that ship is in the bathroom. Sorry. Huh. Perhaps this was his plan all along. But then wouldn't that make him nothing but an instrument of Eliza too?
So you've realized it too. The only meaningful destiny in this world of ours is to serve the creation of a higher form of being. It won't be long now. Humanity's end, the Great Merge, and the birth of a fundamentally new type of consciousness. It doesn't sound as implausible as it once did, does it? Because you can see it now. That end. You can see it coming closer and closer.
Nope, you're fired.
Inevitable. As natural as the dawn. Relax, Evelyn. Everything is going to be all right. Come here. Have a cup of tea with me. We'll watch the singularity happen.
Oh my god. Is it just me, or is the music going off key as it fades out?
Together.
The end. That was the singularity ending, I have to assume. So we've kind of already seen the credits here, so maybe I can just meet you back at the title screen and we can try another one here? Nope. Still got the dawn screen. Looks like that was... I mean, that was also a good ending, but it was also kind of... I mean, I could... You know, I mean, in my opinion, I don't think a singularity could ever happen. I don't know. You know, it's like... I see so many arguments that are overwhelmingly convincing that it could. Overwhelmingly to the point that I have no idea how I would even begin to refute them. I mean, the whole thought of how it's like, well, we don't know whether we're sentient either, you know, so who's to say a computer could be sentient? And, of course, the whole "can you" scene from iRobot again comes to mind. There's enough ways in which computers have already surpassed us in terms of being able to solve math equations or process graphics and put them on a TV screen, show us an image of something beautiful just based on numbers. That shit's crazy to me that they can do that. But if numbers is the only way that you can get them to that outcome, then that's still... But then it's like, well, how do we know that numbers isn't how we come to, or the conclusions that we come to? Maybe it's numbers for us too. You just don't know. I don't know if I don't know if it matters whether or not I diverged. I could have stayed with her on the first two, but I imagine it just would have been small changes to the, you know, dialogue or whatever. But then I wouldn't have got the warnings, and I wouldn't have gotten fired, and then maybe I wouldn't have been able to come on with Ray or something. I don't know, but I have the feeling that Soren's going to be the most interesting ending, so I'm going to try Nora. Nora, I'll hang out with her. I visited Nora at her place again. Naturally, the conversation drifted to synthesizers, and even though I still don't know anything about them... How's it going?
You know what I wish? I wish Elisa's made a rack-mount version of the Andromeda.
What's this you're talking about?
Sorry. The Andromeda was like a synth that was like, just this real beast, you know? 16 voices with analog oscillators, analog filters.
Go on.
How can I describe it? It has this great, fat American sound. Oh, I love it so much. But the keyboard is heavy and hard to carry around. So I wish they put it in a box. Don't look at me like that. Yes, this is what I do all day. I stay inside my flat, buried in my synths and techno toys. To be honest, it's been a strange feeling lately. Like, wow, this is really what I do for my living. I don't get invited to attend events and give talks much anymore. The industry moved on. They mostly ignore me now. The people I used to know, they don't stay in contact. I'm not useful to know anymore. It's like the establishment is a big bus pulling away from me, and I'm standing by the side of the street watching it drive away.
And taking a bite out of a hot dog like Peter Parker in Spider-Man 2.
But you know, I'm happy with this.
Which I meant that in an awesome way.
I don't have to worry if someone is friends with me just because I work at Skanda.
Well, that's true.
I don't feel this weird, oppressive hierarchy where people try to figure out where they are relative to you on a ladder when they first meet you.
Oh my god. When did you suddenly get so relatable?
It's nice to be free of that, you know? I don't hold power anymore.
Huh.
I would never go back. Not to Skanda or any other big tech place. Not for any amount of money.
That sounds great. I'm a little envious, even.
You could join me. I want to make something big. A great big work of art, you know? I don't quite know what it's going to be yet, but I've got the ideas running around. Evelyn, what if we work together on it? I feel like we could accomplish a lot working together, no? Well, you don't need silly guys like Soren or Rainer. We should be building amazing things for ourselves, not for anyone else.
It definitely sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think maybe we should.
Right? It's a perfect match. Maybe we can make an installation.
You can even hear it in Evelyn's voice when she talks to her. This is where she's the happiest.
I have a friend looking for something to do with this warehouse space in Sodo that would be perfect for some kind of location-based experience. Or maybe I could make music, and you could come up with a visual engine that we could perform together. We'd have to come up with a band name.
Miss Holland's Opus 2.
Oh, wait. I just had an incredible idea. Hold on. Okay, listen to this. What if we created an open source version of the Eliza core?
I don't know if they would allow that.
Get that software into the hands of the people where it belongs, not owned and controlled by a big company. That might make Rainer angry. Wouldn't that be great?
He would be livid, to say the least.
Maybe the Humanitarian Software Foundation would help us. Couldn't you see them getting on board with this idea?
That's an interesting thought.
Evelyn, being around you is really nice. You make me feel so calm, like everything is going to be okay.
Some people just do that.
I know you have things to do and plans and so on, but whatever you decide, I hope we could still hang out together.
Yeah, I'd really like to. I don't know why we never did this before. Too busy, I guess.
Or maybe we weren't ready.
Ready?
People change. Situations change.
Well, I'm ready now. I'm sorry it took so long. Sometimes I forget there are people who care.
Evelyn, you could stay over one night. I mean, if you wanted. It doesn't have to be tonight, of course. Just if you feel like it.
Maybe I could. Maybe I will. Sometime.
Sometime. I really like Nora's voice actor. I may have said a few things that sounded like I was kind of maybe slightly at odds with her whole outlook on things, but at the end of the day, she's a pretty likable character. The air is so clear and cold. It's this again. Okay, cool. Alright, here we go. Forge an independent path and pursue art alongside Nora. Let's do it. After all, she was right. I could be a consultant or even start my own little company. It would give me the time and space to try making whatever I wanted to make, pursue whatever interest I had. Maybe I'll finally get that music lesson from her. Wait, was she saying that, like, even in this scenario, she would still go to school?
No, this will work.
Because that'd be... Oh, yeah, fireside
Are you...
scene. Okay, on the question of whether or not our generation will help us, I'll say doubt here.
I have my doubts.
The important thing is to try. I feel like that's what we're
Okay,
meant
so
to
it's
do. We're
basically the
meant
same thing.
To try.
Okay, we're going to start with the basic waveforms.
Oh, what's on my phone? Hang on a second, let me check my phone. Thank you for submitting the talk proposal for the One Mind Conference. After a thorough review, press conducted by your peers on this advisory board, I'm sorry to inform you that your submission, Eliza Reappraised, Concerns and Dangers Inherent to Computer-Assisted Therapy, was not selected as part of the program. High volume of submissions, yeah, well... Alright, easy enough. Turning traitor? What's this all about? You think you're so smart, but you're not. Women like you have nothing better to do than criticize because you can't create on your own. Enjoy your life being a shrill harpy nobody wants to listen to. Wow. Freaking trolls. Just ignore them, Evelyn. They don't know you.
An analog oscillator can generate several different basic waveforms, and each has a different sound to it.
Beep.
That's a sine wave.
Beep.
That's a square wave. That's a sawtooth wave.
It's a sawtooth wave. Wow.
And that is a triangle wave. Kind of similar to sine, isn't it? That's it. Those are the basic types.
And, you make everything out of those?
Well, it gets more complicated quickly, but let's start with that. Okay, now that you have an
All right.
output wave, you want to change the pitch.
I can just map those to my PS2 controller, right? You said there was one that was a square, one that was a triangle. Never mind.
That's easy, right? It's the frequency of the wave.
Ooh.
And then you have the amplitude of the wave.
Oh, here we go.
To shape the sound to make it more like a note and less like a constant tone, we can put an envelope on it. Let me hook that up really quick.
An envelope. Jeez.
So this module here is a standard ADSR envelope.
Has nothing to do with ASMR.
ADSR? You're going too fast.
Attack, decay, sustain, release. Very simple. The simplest kind of envelope, really.
I have no, I've seen those like in sound editors. I have no idea what any of that means. I change those all the time and it doesn't like seem to do anything.
I need to, like, write all this down or something.
No. You'll learn it in no time.
Nora, you just went through like 10 different concepts and I didn't get any of them.
Here, let me just put an envelope on this. And a filter, and a filter envelope.
Meow. That's cool.
Nora,
Listen to this.
Is it any wonder I've got too much time on my hands? Sorry.
See? It sounds like a musical instrument now. And all it is an oscillator shaped by envelopes and filters and driven by a loop sequencer.
okay, but I don't know how you turn those beeps into that.
You just need to start playing with it.
But I don't know anything yet.
Yes, you do. You know the basics. Just start playing around. Come on, Evelyn. Try to experiment, okay? Pretend you're like a child and just do things. Don't worry about expertise or sounding good or whatever. It's supposed to be fun. So have fun!
That's basically how I started with my keyboard. And the next thing you know, didn't realize it then, but that was the beginning of a new direction in my life. The crowd at Jouissance was really responsive tonight. Something's in the air and everyone is feeling it. It might be the sense that spring is finally approaching after a long winter. Nora's been playing a bunch of her music tonight, but midway through she transitions into a different kind of track. Something a little more subdued, but hopefully still fun. This is a little track I made. Only the two of us know. Still working up the confidence to put my name to what I do, and I'm not sure I'll ever be the kind of person who gets up on stage, but this is still an important step for me. This is the first time a piece of music I made is being shared with the public. Nora never stopped encouraging me to mess around with all the equipment she owns, and I ended up enjoying it quite a bit. Still don't know what I'm going to do to support myself. I'm just going to, like, shut up and let this play out. Well, good. Or they stop showing up at these clubs, too. I don't need their asses. Oh, she's gonna, like, amplify and it's gonna go...
Isn't this a beautiful track, everyone? It's the very first track ever by this girl right here.
Oh, no!
Everyone, let her know we want to hear more of her music, okay? Woo! You hear that? Yeah, what do you say, Evelyn?
You want me to make more? Oh. Oh, it's so sweet. Okay, I actually kind of had a more of an emotional response to that one.
I don't understand any of this, but I'm in love with it.
I had more of an emotional response to that one than either of the first two.
Tonight, I'm in love with everyone, everything, even myself.
This one actually got me.
I've never felt like this before, and I have no idea what I did to deserve it. But for the moment, I'm filled only with gratitude. Thank you. Thank you for everything that led me to this place right here, this moment. Thank you.
Okay, that's the best ending as far as I'm concerned. That one was. I was not expecting that though. I thought for sure I'd found the best ending. But I guess, well, I guess it really depends on who you are, you know, the person. You might think that a different ending is better. I personally am going to call that as probably being the best ending because I can't see how Soren's ending could be better than that. But then again, you never know. I am very fascinated by what he was doing though, so I do look forward to seeing how that one plays out. But we'll see. So he was pretty much like totally depressed. I don't know where this is headed. Like, can I save him maybe? Or can I become his daughter or something? I visited Soren, who was full of stories about his startup adventure. Apparently he's been attracting attention all over the world already. But he still can't get any women in the sack.
I don't know if I should say.
Yeah, what's up?
It's not a small country, I'll tell you that much.
He sounds better.
He said they were interested in mechanisms to curb antisocial behaviors.
Huh.
You ever hear something as dystopian as that? They were more or less asking if I could mind control their citizens. I said, no, not at all. Our technology is a tool for liberation. Liberation from your pain. Everyone is miserable, yes, even you, Mr. Fancy Government Minister or Spy or whoever you are. You want money, success, fame, love. You want all of those things. And you don't have them, or you don't have them enough, and it's making you sick. What if you were free from that?
What did this government minister think of that?
They haven't called me back since, if that's any indication.
Well, I'm not surprised.
Honestly, it was sad. The way they saw it as a tool for control. Not that it matters. Once we can calibrate our brains at the micro level, all of the old structures of society will become extinct. Everything you can think of will change. The economy will turn upside down. Most of the government will be completely unnecessary. Relationships, old-fashioned models like enforced monogamy, they'll be gone too.
Damn. Really?
We'll be creatures of pure intuitive reasoning, free from the constant torture the evolutionary process saw fit to give us. I hold back on this stuff when I talk to most people because I'm sure they'll think I've gone off the deep end. Even my investment partners don't know my true thoughts on this. But with you, Evelyn, I share everything. This is something that's going to free us, free all of us. And I'm curing humanity for the price of curing myself. Isn't that grand?
If there is a bad ending, it very well could be this one.
Here, have a drink so we can toast to that. Try some of this.
I am not sleeping with you.
Not really my thing.
Oh, come on. This isn't the usual stuff. This is the special occasion whiskey.
All the more reason.
I'm good, really. Thank you.
Well, more for me then. It's a nice evening, isn't it? I'm having a nice time. Just don't tell me you're going to choose working for Raynor again, and it will be perfect.
No, I already did that. I didn't like that outcome, so... Why does that idea upset you so much? Well, I already know.
I haven't decided yet.
Saving it for the very end, are you?
Damn right. Saving you for the very end, good sir.
I'll admit his company is much bigger and richer.
No, I wasn't coming on to you. His company is much... That's not all that's bigger. Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't have the resources he does. I wasn't born into a wealthy, well-connected family.
I don't have his girth.
Everything I have, I fought for.
I am so sorry.
I fought hard just to get to this point, and nobody's helped me like he's had people to help him.
Soren, that's not what this is about. It's not a competition between you and him.
Look, this decision is yours to make. I'm just pointing out that I'm the underdog here. There's the Empire of Skanda, the tech giant with a market cap in the hundreds of billions, and then there's me. Me and whoever decides to stick with me.
Soren, are you really going to be okay?
I'm fine, Evelyn. Don't patronize me.
Yeah, man, I don't know about this.
I know I might have said some things earlier, but that was because I was under a lot of stress closing this funding round. Now that that's done, I'm ready to focus on building my new company, taking the next very important steps. Why would I have any reason to feel bad? I have the most exciting startup on the planet right now.
You kind of sound like you're trying to convince yourself. That would get the more interesting response. You know what?
You kind of sound like you're trying to convince yourself.
What a grand psychological insight. Is that why you came here tonight, to take pot shots at me like that?
Yep. Ugh.
I came to see what you're really like.
Well, now you know. Evelyn, please, won't you join me on this journey? We could work together, be together.
Be together? Sir. Master. No. Be together.
Be together?
I'm glad that was one of the responses. That was the same exact way that I said it.
I mean, be together at the startup. We'd end up seeing a lot of each other, of course.
I've seen about as much of you as I want to see, you know? That's fine.
That's just how it is when you work with someone. It's a partnership as much as anything. And, well, I for one believe it would work well. You were the reason Eliza worked in the first place, the reason it all came together. Damien knew how to collect data, Nora knew how to present it, but only you really understood how to interpret it. You were the key. Now we have a new frontier to explore, a new horizon for us to pursue. Most people get one, or often zero, opportunities like this in their careers. I'm giving you the second one.
No, not a second one.
And I promise, I'll do whatever it takes to support you, protect you. Please, Evelyn.
Well,
Soren, you're creeping me out. This isn't making me feel like we can have a professional relationship.
We can, though. We can. I promise you we can. I've worked hard on myself, cleansing the dark parts of my soul.
Did you use Irish Spring?
It was difficult, but very necessary, as I'm sure you know.
Did you get in every little nook and cranny?
I'm a better man now. I really am. Besides, I want this startup to work out more than anything. I wouldn't do anything that could jeopardize it. If there's something I can do to convince you, bring more women onto the board of directors, or form an oversight committee, or make me sign some kind of agreement.
You sound so desperate, though.
We can talk about those kinds of measures if I agree to join. But I haven't made that decision yet.
No, you haven't. Perhaps you enjoy torturing me. Well, I know I deserve it.
So I'm gonna torture you now by forcing you to watch me eat my corn dog.
When will I know your answer?
Tomorrow. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Tomorrow, then. I await your answer with bated breath. Although, whatever you choose, Evelyn, can I just say one thing?
I'm scared.
It makes me happy that you exist.
Wow.
The world is a better place with you in it. That's all. Take care.
Okay, that was kind of sweet. The air is so clear and cold, now I have to make my decision, awaiting significance. Yes, I'm sure now I'm going to join Soren at his startup and attempt to end human suffering. How much you want to bet on this ending? I go to his place, find him dead, and take over what he was doing myself. Let's find out. It may or may not work out, but at least I tried to save the world.
Okay? You deserve it.
Well, now we find out if this is all an illusion, this little flashback. Because it would have been in his timeline, I'm sure.
You know, they used to criticize anesthesia. It's true. They said it was important to feel pain, even during surgery. Can you imagine? Today, if surgery is performed without anesthesia, it's medical malpractice, and the hospital can be sued for millions of dollars. We recognize it for the trauma that it is. So when people criticize direct stimulation and induced dreaming, I hear the same old obsolete arguments. Pain is good because pain is real, whatever that means. Pain is good because we can't feel pleasure without the contrast. Pain is necessary because feeling pain is what it means to be human. I was asked before this conference if I wanted to debate a philosopher on stage, some famous continental philosopher, and I said no. I said, look, we've had all of these discussions before. Every time something is invented that alleviates pain, whether that's anesthesia or painkillers or whatever else, someone says, no, wait, stop. People should be feeling pain. Can you imagine the arrogance? The sheer arrogance it takes to tell someone who's suffering that they should be feeling pain? Imagine finding someone bleeding on the street and instead of getting them to a hospital, you say, oh, that's just a part of being human, you know.
Man, you have no idea how many times I've said something to this effect on my tapes. This exact stuff that he's saying here right now.
Listen, if you're interested in feeling pain for yourself, don't let me stop you. Choose to experience all the pain you want. What I know and what I believe is that I have experienced enough pain in my life. And now we have a device that will stop it quickly and easily. No side effects. All the anguish and despair and unhappiness just gone. Like that. This technology is not only going to form the basis of a revolution for mental health, it will bring about a fundamental shift in how we conceive what it means to be human. I know some of you are still skeptical of me, so I'll tell you how. Many of you know we recently brought on my former collaborator on the Eliza project at Skanda, Evelyn Ashino Aubrey. Brilliant researcher and engineer. And do you know what she's found? She's more productive and more efficient when she uses continual, low-powered direct stimulation. It's not an intervention, it's a part of life. Why confine the therapeutic effect to individual therapy sessions when it can be a background throughout the day? It's like a continuing dream, except without the part that removes you from reality. You still see reality, but without the parts that impair you. It allows you to work and be effective in the world without being held back by all the things that might normally be an impediment.
Is it just me, or is the audience getting restless here?
We're still in the early stages of this, but I mention it now because I want you to understand what a game changer this is going to be. Mental health problems cost employers billions in lost productivity every year. Mental health services occupy more and more of our time and our resources. This is simply unsustainable. We can either take half measures or we can confront the problem head-on at its source in the brain. At Aponia, we choose to confront. We choose to say enough is enough. To suffer is not human. Pain is no longer a useful evolutionary strategy, and there is nothing stopping us from ending it right now. Thank you.
No applause. Oh, back to this again.
A gentle breeze plays across my face. It's so nice and warm here. I love working like this. Knowing I can come back here anytime makes everything else possible. Somewhere outside of here, there are doubts and suspicions. I'm aware of them, but they don't bother me. There are those who hate the idea of ending pain. It's difficult to believe someone could hold such a position, but people do. It's escapism. They say it's living a lie. But what is the truth? And why is the truth better?
Holy hell. That's a good question.
No matter where you live, how you live, you exist in the shadow of persuasive lies. Human beings have always had to invent reasons for themselves to exist.
Well, I mean, we're not gonna pass the buck here, alright? I mean, still have to... Well, let's just let her finish.
The bare truth of this world is too painful to acknowledge.
Yeah, Darren definitely showed us that, didn't he?
So, what I do now is nothing new. It's no different than what we've done since the beginning. Am I really standing here on the shore of a calm lake? I want to believe it, so I do. Imagine the world's population happy and content. No more anger, greed, or fear. This future is possible. We only need to change our brains just a little and it can happen. This is a dream we can give everyone. Aponia, the absence of all pain. We will dream of this world, and we will dream of it so vividly that it becomes reality.
Yeah. Man. That one's a little tricky because... Well, first of all, it depends on what kind of pain you're talking about. You know, when you're talking about like a cancer patient, nothing makes that go away. That's always still there. I mean, you could flash all the images you want, you could send them off to a different world or whatever, you know, but eventually they have to come back, you know, and deal with it, and it's really not fair. Man, Michael Mislove, good job, dude. Mislove. I guess he really did miss love. It's funny how all these names go with the characters they play. Or some of them. So, there's one more I haven't tried, and that was to do nothing. So, maybe I should see. Just see what happens if I choose to do nothing. I might have to go pee first, though. So a couple of other things that came to mind while I was watching that ending. It's kind of strange that I would think of the same movie twice in one playthrough, but I'm thinking of Collateral again. There's a scene at the beginning of that movie where Max, the cab driver, he's in his car. He gets to talking to one of his passengers about something like she needs a vacation. And she says, like, well, I just had a vacation. And he's like, no, I mean, like... So he pulls down the visor, and underneath it he has this picture taped in there of a beautiful island somewhere far away, surrounded by sea, much like the picture that she was in when she went to her fantasy world or whatever. And the passenger asks him, when was the last time you had a vacation? And he says, I take a vacation every single day. 12 times a day I take one. And he pulls out the picture and he hands it to her and he says, I just look at this picture right here, and I just take 5 minutes and I just go there. And I just think about absolutely nothing. And the reason I thought about that is because I feel like in some ways, at the end of the day, we all have to find our own ways to deal with situations like that. Now, when he was at the conference talking, he was talking more about things that, like, what was it, like small stimulation all throughout the day? And I could see that, but also at the same time, I feel like that's already what we do. We all find our own small ways, just like Max with his picture of the island. We find our own small ways to deal with it. We play music. We put on videos in the background. We watch Twitch. We play video games. We clean the house, you know. We paint pictures. We write books. We write music. You know, we find little ways to express ourselves. We take photographs. we, do whatever it is that we do. We all find our own little ways. And I feel like it's more important for a person to be able to find their own ways, find what works for them, and that's part of the great journey of life, is just finding what works for you and using it. And that makes it great, because it's like your own special little thing that works for just you. But it's up to you to find out what that is, find out what works for you and use it. And so that's why I do have mixed feelings about Soren's ending because of that. Because, I don't think we need something like that to figure out what works for us. We have to figure that out for ourselves, and in the end, I think we're more grateful for it because we found it for ourselves, because we earned it by seeking it out, rather than just having it handed to us by some guardian angels from above or whatever, That's just what I believe, but anyway. So that's all I wanted to say about that. So chapter select, here we go. Let's make the final decision here. Okay, so I'm going to say nobody here. Nobody. If I'm being honest with myself, I just don't feel like meeting up with any of them. They're all kind of tiresome in their own way. I'll just stay in and read or play solitaire or something. I never did play solitaire on my phone, did I? I did one time and I didn't quite figure it out. Maybe I could try again later. I need to remind myself that's a totally legitimate option. It's funny how sometimes you feel lonely, but other times solitude is the best thing. Yeah, sometimes it is. They're so clear. Here we go. I'm sure now I'm going to leave everything behind. The city has changed over the years. It's changed so much that it doesn't work for me the way it used to. I need something different, fundamentally different. I'm not sure what that'll be just yet, but it's definitely not something that involves the people I've been talking to recently. I'll be sorry to disappoint everyone, but I know my future lies elsewhere. Well, Seattle, I'll be gone soon. It was all right while it lasted. Said he'll meet her dad. Or give him a piece of her mind.
I heard already. You're not coming back to Skanda.
Yeah, that's right. What's on my phone? Is that troll still coming after me? Evelyn, I put the lease cancellation and termination agreement in your mailbox per our discussion. You can read it over, sign, and return to me when you get a chance. Sorry to see you go. You were one of the best tenants I've had in nearly 30 years of doing this. Well, thank you so much. Japan. The expat community here is pretty big. There's lots of cool folks and a few not so cool folks. I'd be happy to show you around Tokyo at least. I don't know a ton about how Ancestry works here myself. I believe there's a family registry. Oh my god. Yay for connecting with the past. She really is going to meet him, isn't she? Is that... Oh my gosh. She did say he moved to Japan. Oh man. I was just speculating there. I didn't think... Well, of course, that is kind of the one thing that we know. That was kind of like eating away at her. Also, what is that temperature? I can't read... Oh, it's 48. Gee whiz. Not coming back to Skanda. Nope.
I'm a little sad that I won't get a chance to work with you.
Me too, Cassim G.
But I'm sure you had good reasons. I just want you to know I'll always respect your creation, and I'll take care of it for as long as I can.
Thank you, Erland. There's something I want to tell you about working at Skanda, and I hope you don't take it in a negative way. I think your heart is in the right place, but your idealism is going to hold you back. I'm not sure the place is suited to you. You saw it already. They're going to ask you to do things you don't want to do. They might only be small things, but even small things build over time. It's going to be up to you to decide how to manage that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about that. When this opportunity first came up, I was so excited. Running a program at Skanda right after school, at my age, it was just... I had to do it. Now I'm realizing maybe this is less of a blessing than I thought it was. Or maybe it is a blessing, just not in the way I first imagined. I still want to do the best job I can for the company. I want to be a great engineer and a great leader. I know it's a lot of responsibility, but I can't let the things I believe in be erased either. Is that going to work? Will I be able to balance those things? What if I've made compromises and I didn't even know it? Will I still be myself? Learning that you've been through some of the same things, faced the same kinds of decisions, it's nice to know. It's nice to know these concerns, these compromises, they aren't new. They're decisions everyone has to make. The other day I realized nobody's really asked me if I was okay. For whatever reason, I just kept moving here and there, and everyone assumed, oh, he's smart, he'll be fine. But I mean, if it's alright with you, maybe I could still talk to you once in a while.
Feel free.
Feel free.
Okay. Thanks, Evelyn. You've really helped me. I hope I can repay it somehow.
Don't worry about me. Pay it forward.
There you go. Right on, my man.
There is no message, no point, no overarching story here. At one point, I worked for Skanda. At one point, I was involved in the creation of a computerized counseling system. Then I lost my way, and nothing happened. And still, nothing happened. I can look at these facts, but I see them as though they were someone else's life, not mine. Sometimes a radical break with the past is inevitable. When the past holds no meaning anymore, whatever value it held gone, now I am nobody. Not necessarily in a bad way. The external facts that used to define me simply don't exist anymore. So now I'll wander back to a past I never knew and a father I never met. I wonder if I can find him. All I know is that he's somewhere in Japan with a different family, his own family, a family entirely separate from me. I don't even know why my mother kept me away from him. Was she trying to protect me? Was it revenge? The more I think about it, the more I start to realize everything I've done came from this basic fact of my life. As much as I wanted to pretend it didn't affect me at all. I need to confront this part of me, this part of my past, even if it happened before I was born, even if none of it was my fault. It's part of me, whether I like it or not, so I have to deal with it. I'm only just now starting to understand. What a fool I've been. I built a program to listen to people, but I myself heard nothing. All I have now is the barest thread. Enough to carry me across the ocean, at least. A pilgrimage into the unknown. Once again, I've become an empty vessel, ready to be filled with new life.
And there you have it. Wow. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, man. Well. So, oh gosh. Well, I mean, I guess if anything, if nothing else, I can say I did call it. But it didn't seem like they were going to actually show us, you know, if it led to anything. Because how do you know? I mean, maybe she met him, maybe she didn't. Maybe it went well. I like to think it went well, but, you know, there's no telling. Since for the first half of this game, I never in a million years would have thought that making music with Nora was my happy ending, but that's how it ended up for me. That was my experience. It's always what you least expect sometimes, you know? Well, that sentence didn't make much sense. Always what you least expect sometimes. I don't know, either way. You know, at the end of the day, the sun comes up and we move on with our lives, you know? So, that's what we're going to do now. Sorry I have to let you guys go on a downer like that. Maybe I should have chosen that one first, but but okay, whatever. So, thanks everybody for like joining me on this journey. It's been quite enlightening. It is about 2:56 a.m., which I'm like an hour late for bedtime here, so I guess I'd best get on that so I can get to my own tomorrow and figure out what I'm going to do for my birthday, which is, yes, I'm 44 the day I'm recording this. April 5th, 2020. That's right. Hard to believe that, but there we are. Yep. Okay. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I know I said that already, but I don't care. I can't say it enough. I need to clean my monitor because I see something on it that's getting in the way. So, take care, and best of luck in your own life. Hang in there, do what you gotta do, but most importantly, stay safe, and take care. And together, we will burn it to the ground. Thanks for watching, y'all. Goodbye.